So let me sum some of this up for you. Since I've been doing these videos just over the last, they always take my phones and stuff like that and block my communication. But I just got served today. I'm sleeping on the ground because I'm denied life, land, and liberty, which puts my children under stress. Because they're attacking my family by attacking me and denying me. But anyway, so American Fork, which is a subdivide, it did incorporate, means it should have came into no movement, no incorporated business, and may have encampment. Meaning an encamp is a group of people, especially of a special code and ordinance of police brutality or gang mentality against independence. Well, this encampment, a stronghold that they have inside of the American Fork, and stating that property and land, a tract of land, be the same of unincorporated Salt Lake City or unincorporated Salt Lake. Well, being that it's expansion and they're not supposed to have movement, it means that any city, being that it's a town, supposed to be a town, and it's C-I-T-I-T-E, not C-I-T-Y. But this mercenaries of a foreign code and policy that aren't self-employed, they're following orders, called a Nazi, because they can't see what they're doing, because they're following compliance and orders as public citizens, as private citizens, doing their job and abandoning voluntarily their civic duty. And they take an oath to do no harm. They're not allowed to have movement against civilians and must remain civilized or civil. They cannot force trespass, because they would be in trespass. They're passing of the trust from their independent side to their incorporated side of business, where they're instating property and land be the same, and then moving land markers, and then instating onto state property in the city of Lehigh. Well, they just had a big beehive, a bee farm catch on fire. The name of it is Utah, or the Utah or Beehive State of Utah Honey Farm. The Beehive State. And 2 weeks before that, there was a point, or not even 2 weeks, a few days before that, there was a big fire at the Point. That's where the prison's at, and the fire department and everything's at. So you see, they can't see because they don't know the bigger picture, because they're Nazis, and they're enforcing pressure to break in the cerebellum of forced compliance of their codependency, of their uniform information. The people, they're supposed to maintain property, care, compassion, and human nature. They're not allowed to instate authority over a civil citizen, because they are a civil citizen. That's why the Constitution and Declaration of Independence and other things, and that they cannot hinder life, land, or liberty deliberately to drive you by your heritage by statutory rape or no compliance. Even the codes, University Avenue of 151. 151 is a tax code of the IRS of medical claim, or out of your mind, you know what I mean? Bacardi 101. By University of Education of 101, a forced abandonment, which is Oregon. Okay, in Old Town, which is 555-101, which is triple X, which is 10. X's are 10, right? 5 and points are 10, which is more than one times a half of a shadow. So it's the Education Board, forced education, and insurance, and also it's $2,000 relief that the president's talking about. But they're saying there's no camping on property. It means they're saying that you can't stand on your property or your terms to protect man, woman, child, and be of good deed and service. Because property is not a physical asset. It's your integrity, your moral, your code, your compass. It is also your children are employed to your property, and that's private property, your private property, and they're stating that it's a public asset. and it is a tract of land. They can sell you, and you are an asset. And they have attacked the Beehive State, which is the same thing as the honeycomb or the Pentagon, and is the same thing as the bell, because it is that same shape, or the nipple, the mom's honey, the military of a child's milk. And it is of an emerging sea of a tsunami of people of imminent danger and attacking the world trade. And I'm just getting back to the key fundamental point of where it comes from. It's attacking my family. Bailey in Brooklyn is B&B, right? And Amanda, got with an A, had to be. And where I'm immigration, things that I'm, but they're immigrating with inside of the infrastructure of their own structure. It's not foreign lands, it's not foreign people, it's them subdividing from and not standing their grounds and becoming incorporated and forcing everybody else to jump off the cliff with them.